Hello, hello, good morning. Good morning. Going to my Austin Powers. Good morning. Particularly fired up mood this morning. Joe, that French roast. Damn. Woo. Hitting that French roast. God bless her. Wendy went to get me some coffee and not only got me some coffee, but got me some Nespresso pods. Got to keep this thing moving, right? And she came home with that French roast. Damn, that's rugged. So I said, I switch over to those Nespressos today. We'll fix this situation. Well, those are just the shots. So I'm pressing it, and only like that much is coming out. It happened to me in Dallas too at Bailey's. I'm like, what's up with your Nespresso? She said, Dad, those are espresso shots. I said, well, I got about 4 of them in here. So we're good to go, baby. Bring it on. Let's see if Facebook decides to work today. How you guys doing? Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate it. Good to see you guys. Let me see if I can get my phone to come on here and show me some people. 62 in the sleep score tonight. I'm somewhere between 2 to 3 cups of a mix of this Nespresso and French roast. Put hair on your chest. Son of a gun. Man, we choke it down. Throw a little hazelnut creamer in there. Spotter. Whatever. It's all good. It's a good thing I have the stomach of a seagull because it doesn't bother me. We just get after it. It's all good. I don't worry too much about that stuff. If I know Wendy, she's probably getting ready right now and headed to get me some new stuff, which she should not do. So we're good. How you guys doing this morning? 1 to 10. Yeah. Luke, good morning, Bob and Wendy. Yeah. How you doing, buddy? Josh Baker, Matt Blood, good to see you. Bubba Hogan is here. Good to see you. Man, I got the flannel on, but I might have to peel that here pretty quick. You know what? You ever pull something on in the morning and go, did I just wear that 2 days ago? I'll have to go back and look. So, yeah, I try to put out on my Instagram page that we're going live at 8 every day. So maybe we'll scare a few people up over there. If you guys are kind enough to share this, it would be great. Again, if you haven't read the book, the #1 Amazon bestseller, Finding Your Edge. Grab it on Amazon today. Write a review. A couple people wrote reviews yesterday. I'm appreciative. And yeah, so get a lot of good feedback. So it's good to hear that. I love it when people say, hey, I read the book and, chapter 10 resonated with me, or I really enjoyed it. Right. You don't grow unless you go. Peter Christensen's a 10, buddy. Yeah. Man, we got some weather. It's kind of overcast. I looked on the weather app, and it's going to be, I don't know, kind of hazy, overcast, continued hot and shitty. No, just overcast. And it's Wednesday, we're looking at, guys, you guys in the Midwest and the West Coast are going to laugh, but we could hit 56. There's a chance we could hit 56. So get out those shorts and mittens and those knee-high socks and the sketches. Get those babies on and get ready to go. Yeah, Pete said I read it last night, one sitting. Great, Bob. Ready for number 2. Cool. And Pete's a guy that admittedly said to me, I don't really read, or if I read at night, I end up falling asleep or whatever. So thanks for making the effort. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. So you guys that are just jumping on, good to see all you guys on a Saturday morning. Going to be a great day here in Southern Maine. Got a lot of fun stuff. 69 this morning. Who said that? 69 degrees in down in Central Florida, Ocala, right? That's nice. That's a nice morning temp, right? Take the top off the Jeep. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Let the wind blow through the hair, all that stuff, Luke. Yeah, love it. We do see that clown too, like that guy when it's like 48 degrees, he's got the Jeep just stripped right down, doors off, one leg out down on the running board. That guy. God bless him. Anyway, well, hey, let's get into it today. I'm glad Jason's here because Jason mentioned yesterday I really like the sales stuff that we've done, and I kind of bounce around. Sometimes I save the weekends for the warm and fuzzies, but I wanted to get right into it today and do a little sales stuff. I helped out Steve Rosenberg on his daily sales accelerator call yesterday, which is pretty cool. Honored to be able to do that and help him out. He's helped me a lot, so it's nice to be able to turn and help him. And we talked sales, of course, and it's just fun, fun to kind of gamify it and see where we have places where we can improve. Yeah, 69 Ocala, everyone wins. Yeah. Hey, family show. Oh man. So yeah, but I wanted to talk about and guys, you don't have to be a contractor to be on here listening to this. Heck, you don't even have to own a business, because the stuff that I'm going to go over with you today, you can just use in a regular run-of-the-mill conversation, or dealing with I don't know, somebody at a restaurant or a vendor, or when you go to Home Depot or something like that. So it's just skills. It's more communication skills. Matt Blood, I said, saw that guy with a convertible yesterday. 54 degrees. Yeah, got to have the arm out on the door too, even though it's frozen solid. It's clubbed right up. You can't even use it. But he looks good, right? We let him have his moment. So let's talk about the number one sales mistake and why most people struggle to close deals. Sales is a little bit more than just showing up and saying, buy my wares, buy my stuff. Here I am. I'm wonderful. I'm here. The other guy isn't. How come you don't want to buy my stuff? Buy my things. I want to do your project. Most people think they struggle with sales because it's like, well, I'm not a natural salesperson, or because, they don't have the right script. But the real reason is they're making the number one sales mistake, in my mind, that kills deals before they even start. And it's not what you think. It's not about the pitch, the price, the product. The biggest mistake in sales, I think, is talking too much and not listening enough. Talking too much and not listening enough. I did this for years. And I didn't do it to, because I like to hear myself talk, although some may argue. I did it because I was trying to sell. And I looked at selling as this outbound thing that I needed to show up and throw up, as they say. But today I want to break down why over talking will kill deals for you, how to fix it. And I want to cover the 80-20 rule of sales conversations too. Okay. Flip the script so you guys close more deals effortlessly. You'll be amazed. I mean, if you guys look at your CAC, your customer acquisition cost, or your cost per lead, this is real stuff, because you don't want to be, you don't want to be burning leads. Tony Bataille, how you doing, buddy? Good luck on the ice. You don't want to be burning leads. If you get somebody calls you, it takes a bit to have them call you, whether it's for a referral for work you did well. They hear about you. Hey, the neighbor stops by, they see you. Or hey, if you're in financial planning, you did well for somebody. They made a great margin that year, whatever. You get recommended. You can't burn those leads. So sales, just to kind of set the tone, it's not about convincing somebody. It's about understanding and digging in and peeling back that onion, seeing what they've got going on. Like if you've ever felt like you've explained everything perfectly, but didn't get the sale, this is probably why. Fix this one mistake, and you're going to see an immediate difference in your close rate. Yeah. Who else is on here? Post in the chat. How you doing? 1 to 10. I know Tony's a 10. I think he's in Maine ice fishing. Whoops, didn't mean to give you a location if you got people looking for you. So like I said, the number one sales mistake, talking more than listening, just like I do here every morning, right? The average person thinks they need to sell by talking. All right. But the best closers let the prospect do 80% of the talking. Hey, tell me more about that. Some common mistakes that kill sales are, over explaining. And I love this one. That you're telling somebody something. Does that make sense? Listen, it wasn't rocket science what you just said. So yeah, it makes sense. So when you ask me if it makes sense, it's almost insulting. It makes sense. Yeah, I got you. I'm tracking. How about this one? Pitching too soon. Wait, let's get to the money. Hey, we got to have it. I got to get out of here. I got a thing, you want to buy or not? So, trying to sell before the buyer understands, before you understand the buyer's needs. And then just ignoring those buyer signals, talking over the moment when the prospect is already convinced, right? Don't oversell. Don't sell past yes. Do you know what that means? They said, yeah, let's do it. And you go, yeah, I think that'd be a really good idea. And you're going to be really happy with this. And, just think about if you didn't do this. And then they say, well, wait a minute. Well, maybe I ought to check with my wife or my husband. Ooh, whoops. You oversold and you lost the deal. Now you just gave it back to them. So people don't buy when they feel sold to. They buy when they feel understood. Yeah. Bubba, am I on track on some of this stuff? Bubba's great with sales. Let's talk about the 80-20 rule of sales conversations. Sometimes I would say maybe 70-30 is okay, but 80-20, top salespeople follow this simple rule. They only talk 20% of the time and they listen 80%. And if you guys have done any sales role plays, you know how hard that is. It's hard for a guy like me because I want to say, yeah, oh yeah, we got this other thing over here and I think this would be really great. They don't hear that. You ever just ask somebody, hey, how can I help you the most? And then shut up. Why does it work? It helps you uncover the real problem they're having, their real motivation. It builds trust. People love to talk about themselves. Hey, tell me more about that. Wow, this place is great. Looks like you got a great family dynamic here. Wow, look at that backyard. Holy cow. Whatever. Keep putting the ball on the tee and letting them knock it out of the park and letting them keep taking cuts. You'll have your opportunity to jump in. And then you can make your solution tailored to their specific needs, not forced. Hey, everybody buys this. I sell garage doors and hey, everybody gets the one with the extra insulation up here in Maine. They may not want that. They may not have budget for that. They may not care. The inside of their garage may not be insulated. So pay attention. Use those two things on the side of your head for something other than hanging your sunglasses off, basically. All right? Like imagine going to the doctor with chest pain, right? Hope you never do. And before you say anything, they just start, listing off the treatments. You'd be kind of skeptical, wouldn't you? Because nobody asked you what was wrong. And that's exactly what most salespeople do. So let's talk about flipping that script. Yeah, and they need to feel heard, Mark Bunker says. There's some sales ninjas on this call right now. So any of these guys, Mark Bunker, Bubba Hogan, all these guys, Jason Rector, these guys know how to sell. And yeah, hey, Peter, I know you're looking to do some role plays. So maybe hit some of these guys up because there's a lot to be learned. But let's flip that script and let the prospect sell themselves. How about starting with a powerful open-ended question? Instead of, hey, let me tell you about our service, say, hey, what's your biggest challenge facing you right now? And guys, again, you don't have to be a contractor to be doing this stuff. That could have been done that question could have been asked by a financial planner, somebody that's looking to tar their driveway. Somebody buying clothes. It doesn't matter. What's the biggest challenge you're facing right now? Okay. Instead of let me tell you about our service, and then dig deeper with those follow-up questions. Hey, why is that a challenge for you? And so, all right, tell me more about that. What would fixing that do for you? We're leading them down the path, right? And then repeat back what you heard. It can be it's called a mirroring technique. If somebody says, or you can let me see how. So what I'm hearing is you're struggling with X, and it's costing you Y. Is that right? Yes, it shows that you were listening, right? And you got another yes out of them. So then present a solution that feels personalized, guys. It's not that tough. What if I can show you a way to fix that problem without boom, 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 without the objection that they mentioned? Let's say their objection was, well, if I can afford it. If you can afford it, well, we're kind of trying to get this thing done for X. Well, what if I could show you a way to get this done without going over that number you just floated out? Well, that would be great. Okay. Well, would you like to hear more about what that sounds like? Yeah, sure. Asking permission, right? All kinds of little things you can do, guys, to make your sales call and interaction with the customer better than most. Saw this same number at a truck stop. LM 352-789-1614. I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys in the chat, you got your own world going there. So I'll ask you this. Think about your last sales conversation. I'll give you a second. Excuse me. Did you do more talking or listening? Did you ask somebody, hey, how can I help you the most? Think about that. And I'll challenge you here. Track how much you talk versus how much the prospect talks next time on your next call. Aim for 80-20. Aim for 80-20. And use those powerful open-ended questions in your next conversation. I'd love to see somebody come back to this recording and post, hey, I tried this and it worked great. Start your next sales conversation by asking about the prospect's biggest challenge before you say a word about your product or service, right? Reminds me of a time my dad would laugh. We used to have a good time. We'd do sales together in the early days of contracting business, and we were in a young couple's kitchen one time, and they wanted to. I think they wanted to do their floor, and I see him looking up at the ceiling, and I'm like, "Oh no, he's going to do it." He's like, before you fix this floor, you really ought to you ought to think about tuning up that ceiling. Like, oh, boy, we're going to get thrown right out of here. Didn't we laugh when we got back in the truck? I'm like, we're not getting that job. They wanted a new floor. They didn't care about their ceiling. You got to meet them where they're at, right? And we had some good times with people just going through some of these sales lessons and really without any, I don't think he had already had a lot of formal sales training. I had none. And we were just kind of feeling our way through it. But it was with some good laughs. I also would recommend not being in the basement when you extend your hand and say, ma'am, I don't think we're a good fit. We had to walk up 2 flights of stairs to get out of that place. Some good stuff, good memories. Had a lot of laughs doing sales, pulling in the driveway and, profiling and saying, okay, what's this, making assumptions we shouldn't have made, right? Making all the mistakes and trying to spin it around into a sale. But guys, track how much you talk on your next sales call or your next interaction. Aim for that 80-20 and recap it afterwards with yourself. Take a few minutes. Hey, how did that go? Be honest. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I kind of stepped in it there. And you get better at this stuff with reps. Find somebody to do a sales role play with this. And it sounds kind of corny and it's a little awkward when you first start, but it was a real difference maker for me in getting better at sales, but also just getting better at how I handled vendors or subs or interactions or tough conversations, or even stuff with friends and family, just conversations. Okay. And practice that mirroring and repeating back a prospect's words. Okay. You could say, hey, let me see. Hey, no, that's a label. If you say sounds like, feels like, looks like, that's called labeling. A mirror would be somebody says, yeah, we did this once before, but the guy, he just didn't do a good job. And just go repeat back to him. Didn't do a good job. And then, yeah, boom, 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 boom. Then you get the rest of the information. Okay. So before offering a solution, repeat back what they said just to confirm that you understand them fully. That would be the mirroring. Okay. A lot of skills. There's a lot to learn. A lot of things that, I didn't even know I didn't know. Okay. And I've learned that great salespeople don't sell, they guide. They listen and they make the prospect feel heard. That's what builds trust and closes deals. Like I made this point on Steve's call yesterday. It was like, you ever walk into a furniture place, right? And we're looking at furniture. Then they just dive. Those guys are all commission based, excuse me, just like the car salesman. But I've noticed that if I walk into a car dealership and I don't instantly kind of connect with the person, I don't even want to talk to them. Do you guys find that the case? I just don't. I'd rather go somewhere else, or if I don't feel like I can build trust. That has a lot to do with how I buy, and we can go over that stuff on another call, or how people buy, different buyer types and all that. But if think about that, and think about how you feel when you're on the other end of sales and being sold to. What do you like? What do you not like? So take a look at trying to figure out who it is that you're interacting with, and spend a little bit of time on the front end saying, this guy's an engineer. He's probably likes details. I'm gonna hit him with a lot of details, and he's gonna love that. But this guy over here, I can tell he's just like, hey, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. He wants the Joe Friday mode, right? Just bang, bang, bang. Stay with me here. How much is it and when can you do it? Tell them that. Get right into it. Fastest way to increase your closing rate: stop pitching, start listening. The best salespeople ask the best questions. Practice them. Practice them in the vehicle when you're driving down the road. Whatever. Somebody sees you talking to yourself, it'll look like you're on the phone. All right. So, guys, was this good today? Did it hit home with anybody? Did you pick up anything? Yes. George Ross says disc profiling. If you haven't looked at disc profiling, check that out. I was going to mention that, but it's not everybody knows what it is. But DISC. Okay. Check that out. It might surprise you, not surprise you that I'm in the I and the D range. Probably not. Those are the guys that are like, hey, let's go do this. Or, hey, like the last guy, just give me the facts. I don't care about the details. The CS type of people, they want the details. They're your people that are doing your SOPs. They're your accountants, your bookkeepers, and people that are paying attention to the details. And they want the details, the engineers. So, but there's a lot. That's a very crude explanation of DISC. But anyway, Bubba says, gotta go. Goofy Mickey Donald Tinkerbella waiting for me. All right, have fun, man. Nobody puts on more miles than you. Have a good time. Yeah, Mark Bunker says, try to end most sentences in some form of a question. Right, and it keeps it going. And the real art of it, Bob, it sounds like you learned a lot from your dad. I sure did. We had a lot of fun. Some of my one-liners and my cliches definitely come from him. Yeah, and Mark says try to finish things with a question, and you're continuing to peel, continuing to get to that the motive, right? Their motivation, and don't say things that may indicate that you've done some sales training. Like, yeah, it sounds like your pain point here is. Don't say that. Don't say that. Okay. Don't talk about yourself. People don't want to hear, yeah, my house, I did a pond at my house, and what it is, it's a 3-tiered waterfall system, and it's 40 feet long, and we love it, and it's way out of their budget or something they couldn't afford. Don't talk about that. All right. Don't talk about that. What else? Anybody else done any crazy sales stuff they want to post in here? Done some things that they would never do again? Anybody got bit by a Rottweiler? Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Jason, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope it helps. Maybe one or two things. I know some of this stuff probably you've heard a lot of before, but just kind of going over it again and say, sometimes you're like, maybe I've gotten away from that. Or you got to work on your chops, okay? Because this stuff it's a diminishing skill. It really is. It's just communication 101. Right? If you're going to be in sales, or frankly, if you're going to be in business, you need to know how to communicate on a high level. Well, I don't like tough conversations. Well, I don't like funerals, but I go because we have to go. You have to have a tough conversation. The best way to start one of those is to look right at somebody and say, hey, we need to have kind of a tough conversation. Would that be okay? Kind of hard to paint, get out of that corner you painted yourself into, right? That's the equivalent of ripping the Band-Aid off. Now we're going to have that conversation. So, well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this today. Again, I want to thank Peter Christensen for sharing this live after. I ask you guys every time. I saw Peter shared it right out and even sent it to a friend or two. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. If you guys can share it out, that would be great. I try to pop it up on Instagram after and just let people know that that I'm here every day, 8 a.m. And Matt Moore was gracious enough to slide his coaching call to later in the day. So we won't have that, hey, Thursday at 7:30 thing anymore. He actually approached me on it, and I said, you don't need to do that. He said, let's do it. He goes, that way you can say every day at 8. So it's the Matt Moore adjustment, we'll call that. And so every day at 8, we'll be doing it. So, yeah, Mark says, quit friggin' chest beating on sales calls, right? We do this. I'm the best, Hey, I'm Mark from Bunker Building and Remodeling, and we've been around 36 years, and our guys are clean cut, and the guys won't park on your lawn, and da-da-da-da-da. And then all that stuff happens, right? But just listen. Guys, just get in there, listen, see what's going on. Be Don't be disingenuous about it. Disingenuous? I'm not sure what's a proper way to say that is, but just be real. Just be real. If you're gonna tell a story, make it a short one, and then tie it back to something that they're dealing with, so that you're relatable. Hey, okay, yeah, other people have this issue too. Hey, when it gets to pricing, geez, hey, yeah, we've talked about a lot of things. That, just recapping here. It sounds like you want to do X, Y, and Z. Would it make sense to talk about what I've had, what other people have invested in a project like this? I didn't say cost. I didn't say fee. So be very careful about your word tracks. They matter, right? And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice. Whoop, I got to turn the coffee cup around. A bunker will get after me. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice, and it's a diminishing skill. So you should be practicing this. Practice with someone that's on your level, but also practice with someone that's above your level, that you look up to as a mentor, or someone that you feel like has pretty good chops on the sales side. So, guys, we're always selling. I had a guy who worked for me once, and I wanted him to do sales training. He says, I'm not in sales. And he worked in the field and did some project management. And he said, I'm not in sales. I said, you're in sales every day. You're in sales every time you interact with a customer or a client. You're in sales every time you interact with a vendor or a subcontractor. So Mark Bunker said, would love to see a guest appearance with Wendy Lee. Yeah, maybe we can make that happen. Oddly enough, the most watched one of these is the one I did with Dave Brackett when he showed up before the event. So these all post to YouTube. And oddly enough, don't tell Brackett because his head will get too big. It's the one with the most views. We had a great time talking that day about Dave's new business down in Florida and what he's doing with his elder care placement service down there in Southwest Florida. So it was a good time. So we mixed it up a little bit. You guys got to see a little something different other than just me banging my chops. So anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful. If it was, share it out. I'd appreciate it. Invite people to our summit community on Facebook. I would love that. And once again, if you think that I might be able to help you on a one-on-one coaching relationship, or even if you don't know and you want to know more about it, book a 30-minute strategy call. I'm sure when I say that, Wendy's going to be digging and scratching for the link and cutting and pasting that in here shortly for you. And take me up on it. Very few people do. Take me up on it. And if you think I can help you, and I don't try to sell coaching on those calls. I simply end them with, hey, has this been helpful? Yeah. If you ever want help, or if you ever want to talk about coaching, I'm here. And say, hey, thanks for your time, Bob. Appreciate it. That's kind of what's helped me the most in the coaching business, is being able to be available and be giving of my time to a limit, right? I mean, I don't, if we're going to go an hour every day, then, we're going to talk about that. But if you need some time, you want to kick some stuff around, if you're thinking about starting a business and you want to know kind of what to look out for, what some things not to do, I've done most of those, so I can help you with it. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Bunker says, I did and haven't looked back. Reach out and ask me why. Yeah, Mark's one of our one-on-one clients. And a lot of the guys and girls you'll see on this call are part of our community. So if you're wondering what it's all about, hit me up. I love to chat with you. And we got a busy day today. Going to put some things to bed. And if all goes well, maybe we'll head north. So we'll see. We could be Studio B remote next week. We don't know. We'll see. A couple things got to fall into place today. I'll update you on that tomorrow morning. Love you guys. Appreciate you all. Go ahead and make somebody's day today. Have a great Saturday. And I'll ask you this. Who needs to hear from you? Okay. Reach out to somebody that needs to hear from you today. That's the challenge. All right. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you real soon. Hope it was helpful. Take care.